Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. In today's video, we are going to look at how to write a good composition in the junior school certificate examination or even the senior school certificate examination. Of course, composition writing or essay writing, if you like, is a regular feature in most English exams. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video goes live on the channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, we are going to illustrate with the Lagos State Basic Education Certificate Examination of 2019, and we are going to pick a question from the theory part, specifically section A, which is essay. And the question is as follows: write a composition on the topic bullying in schools. Now, if you are preparing to write any of your English exams, you are likely to write a composition. And so let's look at how you can write a composition. First, let's look at the essential or important parts of the essay. Number I, the first part is the introduction. Of course, not forgetting the title, all right? Not forgetting the title, which is actually the headline. Then the introduction is where you introduce the topic for discussion, and it has to include certain essential ingredients. What we call the hook, the first sentence that should actually grab the attention and hold the attention of the reader. That is what is called the hook. Then the thesis is your main idea or the central message you are conveying in this piece of writing. Enumeration is optional. You can give a quick list of the main points that you are going to discuss, all right? Another important part of the composition is the body section. This is where you discuss the key points. In some cases, you may be talking about the causes, effects, and possible solution of a social problem, depending on the subject for discussion. The third part of the composition is the conclusion. This is where you summarize the key points and re-emphasize the thesis, all right? Equally, this is where you make a clear call to action. You call upon the relevant authorities or stakeholders to take action, where necessary. Of course, that is what the structure of a good composition looks like. Now, let's look at the simple steps you need to take in order to write a good composition. The first thing is choosing the topic. Make sure you choose a topic you know and can discuss very well. This is very important. For example, it is better to discuss a topic like how to bake a cake or how to probably how to cook your favorite meal. Just something you can discuss easily. It's better to choose such a topic than to choose a popular topic, that you don't know anything about For instance, you want to write a composition on how to fly a helicopter when you have not even seen one in your lifetime. So how can you discuss what you don't know? So this is what I mean by choosing the topic you know and can discuss very well. Choose a subject you are familiar with, which you have a lot of points you can use to express your ideas. After all, a composition is a piece of writing in which you express your thoughts or give your opinion, all right? So it is important you choose a topic that you can talk about very well. In most English exams, you are given 2 or more topics to choose from. All right. You are not asked to choose a topic of your choice. You are given certain topics, and from these topics, you choose one and write on it. Now, the important thing is for you to think about each topic, take a little time and think about each topic, and then pick the one you know and can discuss easily. Now, the second step is brainstorming and creating an outline. This is a very important pre-writing step. You know, pre-writing means the step you have to take before you start writing. You know, to brainstorm is to think about the topic in order to generate ideas for the, excuse me. Yes. Think about the topic in order to generate ideas for the essay. This should be the first thing you do, because there is an ancient proverb that says that good thinking yields good product. All right? Every good thing that we enjoy in life made by man is a product of thoughts. All right? Somebody thought about it and then conceived the idea in his or her mind. Even before a house is built, somebody has to draw, come up with the drawing, all right? So every good product is a product of thought, of thinking, all right? Now, as you think about the topic, the ideas for the writing will naturally flow into your mind. So what you do is to jot down the ideas on a sheet of paper just as they naturally flow into your mind. Then go through the points and pick only the ones you consider most relevant to the topic. The next thing is to organize your main ideas and their supporting points into an outline, dividing them into the 3 main parts of your essay: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Now, the third step is writing the essay. With your outline, you begin to write your essay, and you have to begin with the first thing, which is the title. For example, bullying in schools. I am going to show you a sample of this essay, of this composition, and how you really write the composition, how you organize the various parts into a complete structure. Now, the next thing is the introduction, where you have the hook, the background, the information, background information, and thesis. All right. Earlier on, I talked about enumeration. All right, and I did say that is optional. Okay. Then the body of the essay follows, which should be organized into paragraphs. Paragraph 1, for example, should take the first point from your outline. For example, you want to talk about parents' failure to control their children as one of the factors responsible for bullying in schools. All right. So before children can come to school and bully and become bullies, they are already grew wings at home because their parents became unable to control their excesses. All right. Then in paragraph 3, you can discuss another point, which could be peer pressure. You want to say that peer pressure is another cause of bullying in schools. In paragraph 4, you can talk about the desire to control others as another factor contributing, you know, leading to bullying in schools. Now, the next part of the composition is the conclusion, which of course is the last one. And this is where you reemphasize the thesis, you summarize the main point discussed, you make sure you leave a lasting impression on the reader or examiner. All right? Now, the fourth step is to proofread the essay after you have written it. Cross-check your essay or composition and correct any errors in it. Now, don't forget that in most English exams, you lose half a mark whenever you commit an error. So you make sure you cross-check your composition and correct any errors. Possible errors that can occur in a composition include grammatical errors, spelling errors, errors of capitalization, punctuation, and errors of omissions, and so on and so forth. So you go through your composition and make sure you cross-check, you make sure you correct any errors in it. Now let's look at how you can write a composition on the topic bullying in schools. Now look at it. This is your introduction, all right? This is your introduction, and here you are expected to start with a hook or a general statement that indicates the subject matter. It can be a direct statement such as this. Bullying is one of the major problems in major schools, in many schools, all right? So you can start a composition on this topic in this simple, direct manner. You know, just the purpose of the introductory paragraph is to introduce the topic, to present the subject for discussion, all right? Before you talk about someone, you usually mention their name. And so if you want to write on a topic, you mention the topic you want to discuss, and you show why it is important to discuss this topic in the first place. Nobody will be interested to read an unimportant piece of writing. You have to show in the first paragraph that this topic is very important. So let's look at it again. Bullying is one of the major problems in many schools. You believe that most people will be interested in problems in schools, because if you are not a student at school, then of course it could be your children or your relatives or your friends that are at school. Now let's continue. Bullies tend to take pleasure in hurting other people and putting them under stress. You want to explain what bullying is about. The problem is so severe in some schools that students get injured or even killed. You know, you have to explain what you are talking about so that the reader will really have a clear picture of what this composition is about. Now let's continue. Some of the victims of bullying stop attending school owing to fear, while some are driven to the point of committing suicide as a result of depression. You are now showing that this is a serious problem that the reader should pay attention to. Now let's continue. I believe that it is important to examine the factors responsible for bullying in schools in order to find ways of curbing, if not completely stopping, this social evil. So this is where you have stated your thesis, all right? So this is where you have actually stated your thesis. Now, your thesis is usually your central argument or your main viewpoint. This is what you believe, and this is what you want to really convey as your message in this composition. This is your main idea. So your thesis is the central part of your message, or the central part of your composition, because that is essentially what you want to talk about. I believe that it is important to examine the factors responsible for bullying in schools in order to find ways of curbing, if not completely stopping, this social evil. Now, you have shown the reader that what you are going to do in this composition is to talk about, to examine the factors responsible for bullying in schools and to profile solutions or make recommendations, all right, on how to solve the problem. So that is how to write a composition. Now, in the second paragraph, we begin what we call the body of the composition. All right? So, and here we begin with the first point that we have jotted down on our outline. Now, remember, we talked about parents' failure to control their children. All right, so let's go through this paragraph 2 and see how we have discussed these points. Now, one of the major causes of bullying in schools is the inability of some parents to control their children. Some parents lack the moral strength to correct their children or ensure that they are well behaved. Some parents are bullies themselves. In a home where the children frequently find their father hitting their mother or vice versa, what do you expect the children to learn? Of course, they copy these negative habits, and the school is the place where they can easily practice what they learned at home. So you have discussed this point, discussing this problem, bullying in schools. You are talking about the root causes of bullying in schools with a view to making recommendations on how to solve the problem. All right? Okay, so that is the way it is. Let's now move on to the next paragraph. All right? Now, another factor responsible for the rising incidence of bullying in schools is peer pressure, which in turn gives birth to bad company. So you are saying it is peer pressure. And so you will now go ahead to explain what you mean by peer pressure and why this is one of the major causes of bullying in schools. Now, let's continue. Some well-behaved students suddenly turn into bullies the moment they become friends with another student who is already a bully. So it has to do with friendship with someone who has this bad habit or bad trait, all right? Then you learn from them. They ignorantly copy the negative habits of their new friend, and they are eventually initiated into the bullying practice. In some cases, the hardened bully leads his converted friends to attack his victims during break, in the classroom, in the field, on the school bus, and so forth. So you have given a picture of how peer pressure or keeping bad company leads to bullying in schools. Now, we are going to the next paragraph to look at another cause of bullying in schools. Furthermore, the desire to control others is a major factor responsible for this antisocial behavior. Obviously, the bullies are only putting in practice a prevailing attitude that is fast becoming the norm in our society. Just take a look at the police brutality against the defenseless citizens. Take a look at the passion with which a soldier would pounce on a bloody civilian, kick him or her into the gutter, hit their heads with a stick, a leather belt, or any available weapon. Take a look at the verbal attacks our politicians hurl at their opponents, coupled with their tendency to unleash thugs at their opponents. So you are essentially looking at this phenomenon, this human desire to control others, all right? You are saying that it's a prevailing attitude in the society. And of course, the youths, the younger ones copy from the older ones in society or in the home, and then they replicate these things at school, all right? So that's the way it is. Let's now continue. All right. Leading to assassination in most cases, we are talking about, politicians unleashing assassins on their political opponents. All these have helped to breed younger bullies in schools who are simply following the footsteps of those whom they see as their role models in society. All right, so you are through with discussing the major causes of bullying in schools. Now you want to make recommendations. Let's look at how you can do this. To solve the problem of bullying in schools, charity must begin at home in reality. Parents must pay attention to the moral upbringing of their children. They must start by being well-behaved themselves and then ensure that their children imbibe the right moral values. School authorities should organize anti-bullying programs to discourage bullying. They should also make sure that there is no compromise on discipline. Students found guilty of bullying should be severely punished to serve as a deterrent to others. Government agencies like the Ministry of Information and the National Orientation Agency should constantly launch campaigns against bullying through public awareness and orientation programs, seminars, lectures, speeches on both the electronic and print media. So you have made recommendations, all right? Now, the last paragraph is where you conclude your composition or where you bring everything to a close. Now, let's see how you can do it. In conclusion, bullying in schools is a serious social evil that should not be condoned in view of its numerous severe negative effects on both the individual students and on the entire school where it occurs. If we want to restore sanity to our schools and raise the falling standard of education, all hands must be on deck to ensure that this evil is eradicated from our schools. So you have concluded your composition beautifully. All right, so this is really where we are going to draw the curtain. In today's video, we have been looking at how to write a good composition. If you are preparing for any English exam, whether it is the Junior School Certificate Examination or the West African Senior School Certificate Examination or the National Examinations Council Senior School Certificate Examination or Junior School Certificate Examination or any other English exam in which you are likely to write an essay or a composition, then of course it is important that you watch this video. If you have watched it, you can pause the video at any point and then take notes of the major steps that you need to take if you have to write a good composition. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, kindly like the video and share it with your friends and relations, especially those of them who might be sitting any of the English exams in the near future. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you browse through the description section, you will find a bonus digital product, a free PDF ebook that I have inserted a link there, and it will show you how you can, become knowledgeable about the English grammar. It is about the basic units of English grammar. So if you are interested in downloading that free PDF ebook, just click on the link and you will download a free copy. You will also find my book, my ebook, Good Success in English, a complete study package for effective English learning. You will find all areas of proficiency in English learning, including essay writing and all the other important topics. If you are interested in getting a copy, like most of our viewers that have actually downloaded a copy for themselves and have testified that this book actually helped them tremendously. If you want to have a copy, just click on the link in the description box and you'll be able to grab a copy of the ebook for yourself. There are other ebooks you will find there, and you will also find a link to our website, the official website for English Classes Online, www.englishclassesonline.com.ng, and other relevant sources of information that will be of use to you. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's episode. I am organizing a free masterclass and live training for those of you who might be interested in doing what I am doing on this channel. If you want to establish your own English teaching and online English teaching business, then you can leverage what I am doing. I am going to share my ideas, my experience, my wealth of knowledge with all those who will attend that free masterclass. I will insert a link in the description box in case you are interested in participating in that free masterclass and live training. So I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Goodbye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you